Today, we will highlight some of the key accomplishments and milestones that demonstrate our commitment to safeguarding our nation and its people. As Africa's most populous nation, Nigeria's stability is pivotal for West Africa and the continent at large. Globally, the proliferation of transnational threats such as terrorism, cybercrime, and organized crime has necessitated enhanced international cooperation. Nigeria's security challenges remain deeply connected to global and regional developments across Africa. We have seen the rise in transnational terrorism, cyber threats, and armed insurgencies, fueled by weak borders, poverty, and climate-related displacement. The Sahel region, in particular, has become a hotspot for jihadist activities, with groups exploiting local grievances and state weaknesses. The instability in the Sahel has direct implications for Nigeria, especially in its northern region. The Sahel, stretching across Africa south of Sahara, faces escalating violence from armed Islamic groups. The formation of alliance of Sahel states by Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger following their exit from ECOWAS signifies a shift in regional security dynamics. However, analysts express concerns that those moves might further destabilize the region. Nigeria has had to respond strategically, balancing regional diplomacy with reinforced border security. Notably, we have maintained Nigeria's commitment to multilateral platforms, while recalibrating our regional defense posture to address new alliances such as the Alliance of Sahel. At this juncture, I am pleased to share with you an expert view on the cascading effect of international security scenario, particularly on national security, because we cannot take Nigeria in isolation. We have to look at the global scenario on insecurity and the regional scenario and how it affects Nigeria. And you can see from the experts that the security
global partner continents and other communities. This impact different for example, global terrorism goes initiated that region has required to remove terrorism global. In addition, the big one
to look at the context in which I am going to address you today. The global terrorism and insecurity has been in the rise, more especially in the Sahel that is around us. So don't look Nigeria as all in isolation. Look at the global trend and the sub-Saharan and our neighbors, and then you will judge us fairly. That's one. Two, I want you all to cast your memory back to 2 years ago. Those of you that travel between Abuja and Kaduna, Birnin Gwari, Kaduna, Abuja, Lokoja, and what is then and now, then you will appreciate our own situation and what we have done. The Lake Chad Basin encompasses part of Nigeria, Niger, Chad, and Cameroon, remains a focal point of insecurity. Despite efforts by the multinational Joint Task Force, Boko Haram and its splinter groups The Islamic State of West Africa province, ISWAP, continue to pose significant threats. Over the past 2 years, however, our intensified operation in the Northeast, particularly through collaboration with the Multinational Joint Task Force, have significantly weakened Boko Haram and ISWAP stronghold. Several high-value targets have been neutralized and dozens are captured, and all territories captured have been reclaimed. In collaboration with our international partners, we have also enhanced intelligence sharing and deployed advanced surveillance technology in the Lake Chad region, improving our cross-border response capabilities. Internally, Nigeria grapples with multiple security challenges. In the northeast, the Boko Haram and ISWAP have continued to carry out isolated, desperate attacks, including the use of armed drones. The northwest also faces banditry and kidnapping, while the north central region experiences ethnic-related and farmer-herder conflicts, exacerbated by climate change and resource competition. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration, elected in 2023 with the promises to enhance security, has been making the determined efforts to fulfill this promise. However, contemporary security challenges in the country are neither isolated nor simplistic, like I've said. They are deeply rooted in decades-long socio-political fractures, economic dislocation, porous transnational borders, foreign insurgents' influence, and global terrorism metrics that continue to mutate beyond classical military doctrines. Accordingly, addressing those challenges requires a multifaceted approach, combining military efforts with socio-economic development, regional cooperation, and robust governance to ensure lasting peace and stability. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's famed directive, "Enough is enough," signals reinforcement of political will, which also for us to double our effort in conjunction with all stakeholders towards overcoming the security challenges in this nation. Thus, under the leadership and direction of the President, the Ministry of Defense has coordinated joint efforts through intelligence sharing, coordinated various kinetic and non-kinetic efforts to defeat insurgency. In pursuance of the administrative deliverable, the ministry has achieved many feats which show a leap in the right direction. Nonetheless, history shows that defeating asymmetric threats requires not just bullets and bombs, but winning hearts and minds, stabilizing local economies, de-radicalizing in ideologies, and rebuilding governance structure, all of which can best be achieved through whole of nation or whole of society approach. Accordingly, this brief seeks to present the achievements of our ministry towards attaining its ascribed deliverables under the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. This brings me to my end. That's to briefly highlight the gains of the Ministry of Defense in the last 2 years. To achieve my aim, I shall discuss first administrative deliverables for Ministry of Defense, which centers around securing the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Nigeria. Accordingly, the Honorable Minister of Defense, the Honorable Ministers of Defense are answerable for the following deliverables. That one, improve, expand, and empower Special Operation Forces Battalion, develop a policy framework for reducing dependency on imported foreign equipments, review policy framework on welfare of frontline security personnel. The rest can be seen on the slide. The Ministry of Defense, with the support and direction of Mr. President, has continued to defend lives and property towards ensuring national security and protecting the territorial integrity of our dear country. The key achievements include enhanced synergy with the armed forces and with other security agencies. Defense equipment procurement, improvement in defense production, and capacity development of troops. Others are troops welfare, increasing partnership with foreign nations and organizations, and sustaining stakeholders' engagement sessions. Let me now consider enhanced synergy. The Ministry of Defense has prioritized collaboration among services and with all stakeholders to ensure a unified approach to national security in Nigeria. The Ministry has also been championing initiatives and efforts to ensure the armed forces operate jointly and efficiently with all relevant stakeholders towards achieving operational objectives. As a key part of this is the establishment of Joint Doctrine and Warfare Center by the Armed Forces of Nigeria. This underpins synergy across all services by promoting joint doctrines and concepts which guide the conduct of operations. This enhanced synergy has led to successes attained by our gallant troops in conjunction with other agencies. Remarkably, the period under review has seen the killing and capture of numerous terrorists and bandits kingpin, the rescue of several hostages, and the recovery of large catch of arms and ammunition. Troop has also restored peace to hundreds of communities, and thousands of our people have returned to their ancestral homes. For instance, from May 2023 to February 2025, our troops have neutralized 13,543 terrorists and criminals. Arrested 17,469 and rescued 9,821 hostages. Meanwhile, 124,408 Boko Haram/ISWAP terrorist combatant fighters and their families surrendered. The summary of our operational success induced by the renewed synergy includes the recovery of 11,118 weapons and 252,596 assorted ammunition. As attested by the President during Nigeria's 64th birth independence broadcast, he said over 300 Boko Harams and bandits commanders have been eliminated. This number is even more. Some of these notorious key extremist terrorist leaders eliminated that you all know include Damina Hanigiyobudin, which is a well-known terrorist, Kachala Halilu Sububu, that commands more than 1,000 terrorists, Ali Kawaje Marada, Yalo Nagoshi Marada, Maikusa Katsina, Kachala Dogo Budane, Sani Dangote, Haruna Isiabodori, that has been terrorized in Kaduna State, Buhari Nyadi, and many others as shown in the slide. Actually, the military are neutralizing these bandits by day, and the leaders are going down by day, and they are on the run. Recently, there has been a renewed impetus to all our operations across the country, translating into commendable achievements, specifically in the Northeast. Despite the recent short-lived desperation of the terrorists, troops have responded decisively and dealt a devastating blow across the theater, killing Boko Haram kingpins in the process. This year, the troops have stormed the Timbuktu Triangle in the Northeast, clearing terrorist camps in Buk, Jamieri, Abulam, Digimari, and their training camps at Barin Baban Al-Assad. In the process, 18 terrorists were killed, including 3 high-profile terrorists, namely Talha, that's the woman leader, Malam Umar, the RPG trainer, and Abu Yazid, the ISWAP brigade commander in the Triangle. Since May 2023, security along major routes such as Maiduguri Gambaru, Maiduguri Baga, Bama Banki, Bama Fulka Kirwa, Maiduguri Goza, Yola, and many more has improved, allowing socio-economic activities to thrive. Those of you that are in the area will not dare pass through these roads 2-3 years ago. But now, the security has improved significantly. Besides communities in Borno State like Mteke, Bita, Nguru, Soya, Gajibo, and Kukawa, alongside many others, have returned to their ancestral homes. This shows the slow but steady return of peace through our kinetic and non-kinetic efforts. Our non-kinetic efforts include Operation Safe Corridor in the Northeast, which is sustained by the ministry. This program that has received commendations and visit by foreign non-kinetic think tank has been very, very effective. In the Northwest and North Central, more steam was added to our operational posture with the deployment of high-tech combat enablers and the operationalization of Operation Pasayama. Also, the mandate of Operation Wild Stroke has been expanded to include part of Taraba in addition to Nasarawa and Benue. This stance has indeed yielded dividends in the killing of many bandits and the arrest of several others. The enhanced synergism between our security forces as inspired by the Renew Hope agenda has also spurred our troops to keep our highway clear of criminals. For instance, the Kaduna-Abuja highway and railway are now safer for commuters and have been used for a long time without hitches. Another remarkable achievement was the prevalent security along roads like Kaduna-Bulingwari, Funtua-Gusau, Sokoto, and Gusau, Kauran-Namoda, Zurmi-Jibia. Similarly, the markets in the areas such as Giwa, Bulingwari, Kasuan Daji, and Jibia are now booming with businesses, as attested by various traditional leaders, political leaders, To mention a few specific examples of our recent operational success in the Northwest under Operation Pasayemba, on the 7th January 2025, a notorious bandit kingpin, Kachala Dogo Isa, that's the cousin to late Tukur Shema, who terrorized residents of Kachia and parts of Kajuru local governments, Kaduna State, along with 2 of his gang members, were neutralized. Similarly, on the 7th February 2025, our troops neutralized 44 terrorists and wounded over 25 others in a coordinated assault in Zamfara. Among the 44 terrorists eliminated were Sani Bamuya, Kachalla Auta, formerly the deputy of Sani Black, Auti Gajere, Kabiru Jangeru, and Dankani, that's the son of Audijani. Similarly, others eliminated this year were Sule Kachalla Akasulele, Kachalla Dandaga Akasarkin Fulani, Salisu Mohammed Akadogo Sale, Dan Inna Kahon Sani Ayapu Bahashi, and Kahon Sani Ayapu Bahashi, and Nabaru. All of them neutralized. And those are high-level terrorists that keep terrorizing our people. Moreover, a notorious gun runner and bandit, Naparanshi, famous for supplying weapons from Mali and Niger to criminals groups in Nigeria's Northwest, was also eliminated in February. Within April this year, joint military operation eliminated bandit kingpin Gwaska. Everybody knows Gwaska, along over 100 of his foot soldiers in Katsina. Also, bandit kingpin Belda Kaura, who succeeded the late Ali Sububu, was neutralized alongside Sububu's brother, Mati, and also unspecified number of bandits on 9th April 2025. Maigemo, a Lakurawa kingpin, was also eliminated at Kebbi State, while bandit leader Yelo Aboki was eliminated in Sape local government of Zamfara State within the first quarter of 2025. In April 2025 alone, key leaders such as Kachalla Al-T, Kachalla Harisu, Kachalla Bello Kaura had been neutralized alongside their numerous foot soldiers. Most recently, in a decisive operation on 1st April 2025, 3 key terrorist leaders, including Auta Gigi, Dankane, and Sadiq Kachalla Gigi and Kachalla Suza were neutralized in Zamfara State during the encounter. Some of their weapons and ammunition was captured. I can go on and on and on and on and on. In the North Central, Operation Safe Haven and Operation Wild Stroke have neutralized and arrested several terrorists, gun runners, and kidnappers. The establishment of 2 National Mission Force Brigade, Samarin Katab by DHQ, have helped to address the challenges in southern Kaduna, leading to improved socio-economic activities within the first quarter of 2025. A total of 122 extremists were eliminated, while 1,023 criminals and 405 hostages were arrested and rescued respectively. Gladly, 3 gun-making factories were discovered and destroyed in Riom and Mangu areas of Plateau State. On 15th March 2025, 2 notorious kidnappers, Bashir Mohammed and Ismail Mohammed, were apprehended by the troops in Basa local government of Plateau State. Besides, troops of Operation Safe Haven have arrested the notorious cult leader, Fidelis Adamu, on 20th March 2025 in Plateau State. Additionally, on the same day, troops apprehended a suspected member of a high-profile gun-running syndicate, Alhaji Mansur Mohammed, in Donga local government of Taraba State. Furthermore, on the same day, troops arrested a suspected high-profile bandit leader, Adamu Yakubu Aka, no money, no guy. Adamu is linked suspect to several cases of banditry, kidnapping for ransom, and violent crimes across Katsina Ala local government area of Benue State and southern Taraba, including brutal killings on 10th March 2024 at Shika village in Katsina Ala local government. At this juncture, let me cast our mind to the fact that tragedy unfolding across Benue, Plateau, Kwara, and other states, not on a sudden, and Kwara and other states is not a sudden phenomenon. It is a culmination of years of weak communal relations, the collapse of rural communities, foreign fighters infiltration, climate-driven mitigation pressures, migration pressures, and the transborder proliferation of sophisticated arms from failed North African states. Those are strategic and complex problems far beyond the reach of simple military deployment or spontaneous reaction. Hence, we have initiated several non-kinetic mechanisms to ensure that various parties embrace peace and shun violence as means of settling scores. I have visited Plateau already twice and engaged all parties, and our meetings were very fruitful. The Southwest Zone has remained relatively calm, while isolated cases of armed robbery, kidnappings for ransom, and cultism. There were also reports of migration of terrorists into the Southwest Zone, particularly the Kayenji National Park. Our troops, in conjunction with other agencies and local volunteers, are making efforts to defeat the threat, especially the so-called Mahmuda insurgents. Moreover, the efforts of troops have forestalled many illegal activities that could further compound the complexity of the security landscape in the zone. Thus, the Nigerian army, through joint efforts with local authorities and increased public cooperation in sharing vital information, has been able to significantly decrease criminal activities in the zone. One key example, among many others, was the interception of a truck with two occupants on 15 July 2023 by troops, in which 720 cartons of Red Star cartridge of 12 caliber, totaling 18,000 cartridges, and 250 packets of light black pellets, totaling 2,500 cartridges, were discovered. The arrested suspects, Eric, who is a Ghanaian, and Lukman Sani, a Nigerian, claims the exhibit was being conveyed all the way from Mali via Diroko to deliver to the owners in Onitsha. These are the threats we see daily. In Southeast Operation Ndoka, several secessionist agitators have been eliminated and some arrested. This has made the infamous sit-at-home orders by criminals ineffective. For instance, in the late 2024, our troop arrested Ford Egu, the founding father of the Eastern Group in the Osu general area of Imo State. Similarly, troops have conducted a raid that resulted in the arrest of another IPOB terrorist commander identified as Emmanuel Nwogu. Relatedly, troops and security forces in combined sting operation arrest the notorious cult leader Ifeanyi Rock alongside 10 of his combatants in Arochukwu in Abia State. The coordinated arrest of IPOB chief Simon Akpa by Finnish police also helped break the organization. Efforts were also made to isolate the IPOB by denying them the leeway to align with the Amazonian rebels in Cameroon. Recently, combined efforts of security forces have resulted in the neutralization of 6 separatists. In the South-South region, troops under Operation Delta Safe have discovered and destroyed about 3,849 dug-out pits that is used for the storage of stolen crude oil before processing. They have destroyed also 1,871 boats and 4,543 storage tanks. Other items recovered and destroyed include 3,773 cooking ovens, 135 pumping machines, and 1,978 illegal refinery sites. Moreover, large quantities of stolen crude oil, illegal refined AGO and DPK and PMS were confiscated. The Navy has also arrested some vessels for various offenses. Some of the vessels include MK Kali and many others. Moreover, high percentage of terminal factors recorded along the Trans-Saharan, the Trans-Niger, Trans-Escarabos, and Trans-Pacados pipeline by as much as 95% have been sustained in the third and fourth quarter of 2024, as well as the first quarter of 2025. This has improved oil production from an average of 1,250,000 barrels per day in January 2023 to an average of about 1.6 million barrels per day at the present time, and sometimes it goes up to 1.8 million barrels. This is as a result of the destruction of so many illegal refineries and protection of the pipelines done by our troops. While the Navy's operational response within the period under review also led to the capture of foreign parboiled rice, cannabis sativa, and other psychotropic substances smuggled or attempted to be smuggled in wooden boats, worth millions of naira. It is also worth noting that our efforts have led to the Nigerian exit from the list of piracy-prone countries by the International Maritime Bureau Piracy Report 3rd March 2002. To further enhance the synergy The ministry is actively collaborating with the Ministries of Blue Economy, Agriculture, Petroleum, Communication, Power, Solid Minerals to enhance security around national parks, forest reserve, inland waterways, as well as mining, oil exploration and supply side, and other critical national assets in conjunction with our security agencies. This has greatly boosted economic activities and enhanced livelihood of our people. Well, time is up, but there are a lot to say. To show you just a few for emphasis in this video clip. It's your business, it's my business. We must support our security forces and isolate criminals no matter our appellation. Imbibing all of society approach security will ensure a safer Nigeria and will enable us to reap maximally our goodies enshrined in the renewed hope agenda. Join hands with the armed forces, join hands with security agencies, and end this thing at the time. So that is it, but they don't have more equipment than us. We have much more. We have more sophisticated equipment, and that is why the successes that I've just mentioned. On the summit, yes, strategy is far more important than summit. But summit will give you some inputs for the strategy. When you hold a summit, you hear people, they talk, we take what they said, and we go back to design or renew our strategy, and then the Chief of Defense Staff give operational order based on the strategy developed. So what the National Assembly is trying to do maybe is to bring people together to discuss the issue of security. You hear a lot. I visited most of the past defense ministers. I visited most of the past service chiefs to discuss issues on security during their time and what we see today and how we improve. And I'm sure the service chiefs also do the same. So the summit can help, but the strategy is much more important. The gentleman from Tribune said that the terrorists have armed drones. How? From where do they have armed drones? What we saw up till today are normal small drones, civilian drones. They just tie bomb to it, improvise bomb, and just drop. It's not sophisticated drone. It's not armed drone that has strategic guidance. It's just publication. That is what we saw so far. And we are beefing up our intelligence, and that is why we have arrested so many armed traffickers. And that is why we are monitoring also with the National Security Advisor the use of civilian drones now. Because if you see the videos, I think it's not here, I could have shown you the type of drones they use to attack. It's just small normal drones that you media use, but with heavy capacity that they will put 1 kg or 2 kg of bomb that explode, and that is what they have now. But we are doubling our intelligence, both internationally and nationally, and always our partners, global partners, to make sure we track the source and we nip it. Daily Trust, the Ajaokuta and Daikon, yes, we are on it. We are working to see if we can resuscitate a section in Ajaokuta that will help us in our quest to make Daikon more productive. But you see again, The President and Commander-in-Chief have signed the DICOM bill, which I believe you are all conversant with. As of today, 53 companies have an MOU with us. Most of them are at different stages of construction in their factories. I think about 10 of them have started production, including some light drones, MRAPs, PCs, and many other equipments, helmets, safety vests, and others. So 10 have started producing. And we target by the end of the year, we will have about 20 producing. By next year, God's willing, with your prayers, we'll start to export. And also, I know your head office is in Kaduna. If you visit us there, you will see that the ammunition factory is functioning and we are producing a lot of arms for our use today. You made a mention of your visit to Batsari and the situation in Safana. We are unaware of it. I didn't tell you it is all over. I said we have achieved success, and you attest to it by saying that Batsari is now okay. So slow but sure, we will deal with this and put it in the end, and nip it on the bud, and Safana will be freed. If you recall, it's not only Batsari, you can't dare leave Gusau through to Jibia. Now that road is open and bubbling. Jibia, yes. You see, these people infiltrate slowly. If you are a defense correspondent, you know that they don't go in bulk. They dress like you, move like you, without arms and ammunition. They go. First, they start to preach normally. They start to work with people, support people, and before you know it, they build. But we have understood the trend now. So we are watching and we are blocking. More could have happened. More could have happened, but for the support, for the help, and the dedication of our armed men. If you know what is happening in Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso today, even in Chad, even 3 days ago, the whole, I think, this thing, camp just across the border in Cameroon was attacked by these people, and a lot of weapons taken, including an MRAP. So the situation around us is really escalating much more than you think. And we are blocking and also reducing the impact in our country. So that is why I say we must commend these people. Because if you look at Nigeria in isolation, you won't get the gist. It is Google, find out how many military barracks and personnel were killed in Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso in the last 2 weeks alone, and in Chad. You will now understand what I'm talking about. You will see that Nigeria, we are doing wonderfully well, and we will continue to guard our borders, and we will continue to be sure that the infiltration of these people has stopped or minimized now that we are understanding their trend and how they operate. On the access to information from us, I mandated the DHQ to give bi-weekly report on our activities and the activities of the armed forces. And I think they have been doing that religiously, right? Yes, sir. Yes, and most of you attends to that briefing. So, right, we are doing a lot. We are doing very well. Was my explanation on what the security agencies are doing to reduce the impact of insecurity around our neighboring countries and the escalation into Nigeria. That means we are doing something in the borders. And there are a lot of other things that we do. Unfortunately, there are not things that I will share. But trust us, from what you hear, and from the global context, the regional context, and what happened, to what you know 2-3 years ago, and also from what people are saying on the improvement of security today, you will agree with us. We are doing our best, and we will continue to do our best, and we will continue to develop strategies, change tactics as they change. I thank you most sincerely, and appreciate being invited to answer these questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And with that very distinguished